Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to my April 18th DVD and Blu-ray update. It's been just over 3 weeks since the last update, and like I said, I did say that I was going to be slowing down on my spending, so these updates were going to be maybe, taking a little longer breaks in between, or, I'll just keep them going regular, but there won't be as much. So I kind of saw that I was getting upwards up to almost a month since the last update, and I really have amassed a pretty good haul, and as much as I said I was going to be slowing down, I don't really think that's going to happen entirely, because there's just way too much good shit coming out. May, June, etc. So you're probably going to see more and more updates, so basically all that talk of me slowing down or whatever, it's bullshit, so there it is. Before I do get into the update, I just want to remind everybody that we are on the eve of Rob Zombie's newest film, The Lords of Salem. Definitely check your local listings and see where it's going to be playing, because I know it's not going to be playing at every single multiplex out there, but it's definitely going to be around. You just may have to search a little harder. I know tonight I'm going to be checking it out at a 10 o'clock show, so maybe if I have the time and the energy this weekend, I'll shoot a quick review of that for the YouTube channel, because I did say in many tweets that I did want to get back to reviewing movies, whether they be DVD or Blu-rays or theatrical films. I just want to kind of get back into doing that and making them very, quick and not too overbearing, just making them, short, 5-6 minute videos, so you guys really get a good gist of what the movie is, whether it sucks, whether it's worth seeing. You catch the drift. But enough of that. I just want to, of course, remind people to go see it. It looks like it's going to be a really fun movie, and I, for one, am really looking forward to checking it out. If you didn't happen to catch the Rob Zombie Halloween shirt, showing my support, because I really like the guy. I think he's got a great style, so I'm really happy to check out his latest offering. Now, that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into this April 18th DVD and Blu-ray update. Since we're on the topic of horror, let's get into some Scream Factory titles. And this is the Blu-ray DVD Collector's Edition Unrated Director's Cut of From Beyond. Love this movie. It's an awesome film. Stuart Gordon directed it. It's an H.P. Lovecraft, tale. It's just awesome. Sadly enough, I haven't been able to have the chance to watch this yet and, kind of cut into all the juicy special features that they have, but this definitely seems to be just like another knockout from Scream Factory's fantastic lineup of films, and you have that great custom cover art by Jeff Zorno, one of my favorite artists today. But yeah, if you've been happy with other Scream Factory offerings, especially of their collector's edition line, I really don't see how this is going to fail in many fans' eyes, because it looks like they just kind of, continue to stay the course and give fans exactly what they wanted. So I'm really looking forward to cutting into this and seeing how they did. Moving on, not Scream Factory related, but a Shout Factory film that they picked up through their MGM deal, and this is Peter Fonda and Blythe Danner in Futureworld. This is the sequel to Westworld, which I've never actually seen. I've seen Westworld, I own it on Blu-ray. It's a fun film, so I'm definitely looking forward to watching Futureworld, although I've heard that it doesn't really live up to as good as Westworld was, but I guess that's to be expected with a lot of sequels. But I'm actually gonna wait a little longer, because what I would ideally like to do is kind of throw a double feature for myself, since they are both out on Blu-ray. It would be really cool to just kind of, watch them back to back, so I'm definitely intending on doing that. The next one is another Scream Factory title, and it's another one from their Collector's Edition line, and this is Phantasm 2. This is definitely a case, although I was just talking about how, there's, generally most sequels don't live up to what the, all the great stuff that the original was, but Phantasm 2 is actually a really fun sequel. I've always really enjoyed it. The original Phantasm is a phenomenal film. It's grossly underrated when you think about other horror franchises like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Hellraiser. Phantasm, it's loved by fans, but it definitely doesn't get a lot of the recognition that it so rightfully deserves. Don Coscarelli just, he really created an amazing world and really incredible characters, and Phantasm 2 is just an extension of those characters and that world. So this is great. Sadly enough, I haven't gotten the chance to view this edition for myself, but there's a ton of great special features in this, including an audio commentary with Coscarelli, as well as Angus Scrimm and Reggie Bannister. There's new interviews with Coscarelli, the original trailer, and plenty more. So, again, this just seems to be another knockout punch for Scream Factory's Collector's Edition titles, so I really can't wait to cut into this again. The next one I got is Steven Spielberg's most recent film that was being touted a lot during the Academy Awards. Daniel Day-Lewis won the Best Actor Academy Award for his performance in this, and rightfully so, and this is the Steven Spielberg film, Lincoln. As you can see, I picked up the Blu-ray DVD digital copy pack, mainly because I'm a stickler just for the presentation of the covers and how they look, and I really liked how this one looked. I liked the gold border around this slipcover as opposed to like the Blu-ray border. It just kind of was a little off-putting to me, so I kind of like the idea of having the combo packs anyway, and it just had a nicer slip and a better picture, so I liked it. This film, I enjoyed a lot. I thought it was really good, an insanely good cast in this. I mean, not only do you have Daniel Day-Lewis and Sally Field playing his wife, but you also have the likes of Tommy Lee Jones and Hal Holbrook, you know, just... James Spader is in it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it, you know, it seems like every scene there's like a famous politician or somebody being played by some remarkable actor, but overall, I really enjoyed this film, and the thing that I did like it, and this is, you know, a thing that people might get into with, you know, historical films or political-based films, especially if that's not where your interest lies, like it is with me, I find that you could get easily confused watching a movie like this. Like, you know, this isn't really my cup of tea and, you know, reality, so I don't really know what they're talking about and stuff. So, to put it in simplistic terms, this film, you don't have that problems with it, you know. It's got a lengthy runtime, but not for 1 second do you feel like, oh, I'm watching this politically based movie and I'm not having a hard time following the lingo. You know, of course they talk in political lingo and stuff like that, but it's really a good story that's carried by the performances, and it's not hard to understand at all, which is good. Like I said, if you're not really, you know, a lover of politics or, you know, more or less political movies, you don't really have that problem with Lincoln, which is great because, you know, you just really want to be absorbed in the story that you're watching and kind of escape into the characters and what they're dealing with, and you absolutely can. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis will just transport you through that, and you just feel and have so much, you know, emotion, and you just connect so well to his portrayal of Lincoln in this. So it's a really phenomenal film. Spielberg directed the shit out of this movie, so if you're a Spielberg fan, this definitely ranks up pretty high on his filmography, so definitely check it out. The next one I got is from Shout Factory, and this particular season is now available exclusively only through their website via their Shout Select line. So if this is news to anybody, definitely go to shoutfactory.com, browse around and find the Shout Select you know, items and order it through there. But this is season 4 of Hey Dude. You know, Shout's been really great with, you know, continuing to release all the Nickelodeon titles, and this one, Hey Dude in particular, is getting up there. There's only one more season left to release until it's done, but have no fear, guys. Shout Factory has assured people time and time again that they will be completing all of the shows that you're hoping that they're going to complete, such as Angry Beavers, which already has a complete series set up for pre-order on Amazon, which is slated for a July release. They're going to be completing Danny Phantom and Wild Thornberrys and Hey Arnold, you know, everything, so have no fear about that, but this is the latest offering that they have. The next one that they are going to be coming out with is going to be another Shout Select line, and it's going to be season 4 of Hey Arnold, and after that, Hey Arnold only has one more season to go, so they're really, you know, getting to the ends of these shows, which is great for any Nick fan out there, such as myself, so I'm really, really happy and overjoyed that Shout Factory has just committed themselves to these great Nickelodeon shows that we grew up with, so definitely check out Season 4 of Hey Dude to continue supporting the line. Next one I got is a double feature from Code Red DVD, one of my favorite DVD distributors in the game right now, and this title in particular can be bought from Code Red's Big Cartel storefront, which is where they sell exclusively and directly to us, the customers. No middlemen like Amazon or CD Universe or anything, it's just them. But this is one of their more recent double features, and this is The Possessed and Demon Witch Child. I just recently watched both of them, and they're pretty good. what's come to be, you know, expected with these double features is that there aren't, you know, cleanup done on these, which is okay, though. I mean, you get the scratches and everything, so it really adds to that whole kind of drive-in feel, like what it would have been if you were watching these films at a drive-in or a grindhouse theater in the 70s. So I like that. I think it really adds to the charm of these movies. Overall, The Possessed and Demon Witch Child, they're pretty fun movies, but out of the two, I think I definitely favored Demon Witch Child a little bit more. But both of these films really complement them, each other really well. I think that that's a really good thing that Bill is great at from Code Red, is he really knows how to pair great, fun films together that complement one another. So watching them on a double bill is just a really good time. But yeah, like I said, the Possessed actually is about a doctor that runs a sanitarium, and he has like a hunchback servant that like whips all these prisoners in the basement. Where, you know, they just keep them all trapped and everything, but two teens turn up dead, so a cop comes sniffing around and stuff. Really kooky performances, cool, it's violent and bloody at times, but overall it's fun, definitely. And then Demon Witch Child, kind of run-of-the-mill of, a young girl. I think she is the daughter of, like, a politician or a congressman or something, and she gets possessed by, like, a gypsy woman who's reincarnated through her, and it's cool. It's a very cool, demonic possession film, but they're fun. I mean, both of these films were fun. They're grindhouse-type films, but out of the two, I definitely would favor Demon Witch Child over The Possessed, but overall, good times, good grindhouse flicks. The next two are from Scorpion Releasing, Bill's brother, actually, that's his company, and the first one I got is under the Katarina's Cat Scratch Cinema banner, and this is Angel's Brigade. Sadly, I haven't gotten around to watching this, but the other one I have, so I'm not gonna kind of waste too much time on this, because I haven't viewed it yet, but I can talk about the other title that they released as a part of the Cat Scratch Cinema line, and this is Alley Cat. You know, I went into this expecting it to be a lot cooler, but it really wasn't. I was kind of bummed. It was kind of touted to me as being a lot more brutal than it really was, and I thought I was getting myself into kind of a Savage Streets type film, because that's really what it is. It's you know, a female type vigilante film, and that's really what it is. And, you know, I don't want to, you know, say that it's horrible, because it's not. I mean, there's definitely cool things going in it, but it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. So overall, I watched it and I kind of walked away slightly disappointed, because people were talking about it and reviews were stating that it's actually a pretty brutal movie. But, you know, overall, it's not a bad movie. It's a welcome addition to my collection. I feel like I'll probably return to it, and I just love supporting Scorpion Releasing. I think that they do great work. Again, I've mentioned many times they're also another one of my favorite DVD distributors, so if you're a fan of the Katarina's Nightmare Theater line or the Cat Scratch Cinema line, you gotta have Alley Cat in there for better or worse, but that's just my opinion. It just wasn't the best. The next one I got, it's pretty cool. This is being sold exclusively from the director himself, and this is a 25th anniversary edition signed by director Jeff Lieberman, Remote Control. I bought, you know, a bootleg not too long ago, and I didn't think the most of it. I feel like I didn't get the most out of it because I watched it pretty deliriously really late one night, so it's kind of unfair for me to judge it on that. But once I heard that this went up for pre-order, or, you know, Jeff Lieberman was selling it exclusively through his site, I was like, wow, I need to get that, because it's just a cool, odd gem to have, so I don't want to be out in the cold if it ever sells out. And he's only pressing 1,000 DVDs and 1,000 Blu-rays, and he actually individually marks them, so I actually have number 132 of 1,000. But this is really cool that he did this independently. They're all, you know, they're pressed releases. They're not manufactured on demand or anything. These are pressed. He did a 2K HD transfer from Vault Elements for this. He has a commentary himself on here and a still gallery, and he signs it. So although it's like $35 for the Blu-ray, that's including shipping, that's the whole thing, it's not bad when you think about how titles like, you know, how the Twilight Time titles kind of go. So if you're okay spending those prices for the Twilight Time titles, which I have, you know, a handful of, I thought that this was a pretty cool deal, especially for a film that for all intents and purposes, people never thought would ever get a legitimate release, so it's cool that the director put it out and put it out in such good fashion as he did, and to get an autograph on it is just icing on the cake. So if you're into cult cinema or, you know, exploitation films, I can't really see how, you know, watching Remote Control could be a waste of your time. I mean, it's Jeff Lieberman, guys. It's Just Before Dawn. It's Blue Sunshine. So this is a very cool thing to support. So definitely Google it and see where you can get it. Like I said, he's selling it exclusively through his website, and it's $35 for the Blu-ray. The next one I got is another double feature from Code Red, which I sadly can't talk about it because I haven't watched it, because the night that I was going to sit down and watch the double feature, it was a coin toss between The Possessed and Demon Witch Child or this. I chose The Possessed, but I have been reading great things about this double feature, so I'm excited about it. And this is the House of Insane Women and The Night of a Thousand Cats. Like I said, I've been hearing really cool things about this. I personally can't comment on these films because I haven't watched it yet, but, you know, it's sold exclusively through Code Red's website. I think right now it's temporarily down, but I think if you private message Bill via forums or something, I think that he will sell you a copy. I just think it got taken down off the store temporarily, but yeah, definitely if you're curious, inquire with him. The next one I got is another Code Red title, and this is part of, I believe this is from the VSI library, that they just, they struck a deal with VSI, and this is Swinging Sorority. Yeah, that cover really doesn't leave much to the imagination, so pretty much what you're seeing is really what you're getting with a film like this. But from what I heard, it's a pretty fun 70s sexploitation film. I believe they claim on the back it's presented by Jeff Begun from Hard Bodies and Saturday the 14th fame, which is pretty cool. And, you know, the cool thing about, you know, an odd kind of rarity like this is that this is, if it weren't for Bill and Code Red, this film would probably never see the light of day, because this film is being presented on here from the only surviving print of this film. So if that print ever gets, you know, destroyed or whatever, that would have been the end of it. Swinging Sorority would just never be, it would be no more. So it's really cool that Bill, you know, saves films like these and preserves them. So now they're here on DVD, which is great. So yeah, I'm looking forward to cutting into this. I just can't wait to see what it's all about. The next one I got is the first title I ever bought from Vinegar Syndrome, a new independent exploitation cult label out on the circuit, which I'm really excited to support because I think that they're doing really great work. I haven't watched this yet, but I've been hearing great things. It seems like they did a phenomenal job on this, so I can't wait to check it out. And this is the Blu-ray release of Massage Parlor Murders. What a great cover, right? I mean, it's really terrific, but yeah, these guys did a pretty phenomenal job on this. Can't talk too much about it, but definitely go on places like, you know, Blu-ray.com or DVD Drive-In and get a gist of what it's about, but it sounds really cool, and like I said, these guys seem like they didn't spare any expense. They really put a lot of time and passion and hard work into their products, so I'm excited to support Vinegar Syndrome. And the next three are actually William Friedkin movies. I kind of just got on a bit of a Friedkin kick, and I just wanted to pick up some odds and ends that I was missing from him in my collection, specifically on Blu-ray. The first one is To Live and Die in L.A. Very cool stuff. Just got it like 2 days ago. The new Filmmakers Signature Series edition of The French Connection. I know the earlier Blu-ray release kind of had I think it was like wrong color timing issues or something like that, but I know that the first Blu-ray edition of this, which was probably maybe 2 years ago, was not very welcomed by fans. It was pretty disappointing, so I think Friedkin went back. I believe he went back with the cinematographer, and they corrected everything, so this is truly like the definitive release of The French Connection, so really happy to have gotten it, and still get it with the slipcover, which is always cool. And the last one from Friedkin is actually his most recent film, and this is the unrated director's cut of Killer Joe. Matthew McConaughey, Emile Hirsch, I've been hearing wonderful things about this. I hear the performances, specifically from McConaughey, are pretty terrific, so I love Friedkin. He's a phenomenal director. It's really cool to still see him kicking things and kind of putting movies out with such a hard edge, such as Killer Joe. So if all the things I'm reading about it are true, Killer Joe is definitely going to be something that's absolutely going to whet my appetite, so awesome. The next one I got is from Shout Factory, and it is a Jackie Chan double feature of two films that I've actually never seen, but I've read so much about them, so it's cool to pick them up for like 15 bucks. And this is Police Story and Police Story 2. Doesn't seem to be any special features on here. It's just the films. Oh no, there are. There's actually outtakes and theatrical trailers. Plus the films, of course. So, yeah, this is the second Blu-ray Jackie Chan double feature that they put out. I believe the first one was Crime Story and The Protector, so it's cool to see them continuing to put Jackie Chan films on Blu-ray, because I'll absolutely support them, so looking forward to checking these two out. The next one I just got the other day, actually, is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Disney Nature's latest documentary, and this is Wings of Life. I believe this came out like 2 years ago, and I think it was released theatrically overseas under different titles. I think it was called, oh god, I'm blanking out on it. I feel like it was like called like Pollen, maybe? I think it was called Pollen, because I think that this one deals with like the little animals in the whole animal kingdom, specifically like insects and butterflies and, you know, things of that nature, birds perhaps. It's narrated by Meryl Streep. I've heard that it's pretty good, so I love the Disney nature documentaries. The last one that was released theatrically, Chimpanzee, I loved. I thought that was a great one. And this one, like I said, I think it's kind of like a similar situation with, what was that one called? The Crimson Wing. That one. It came out on Blu-ray here, but it wasn't released theatrically. I think it was just released theatrically in foreign markets. So, same thing with Wings of Life, but they did bring it to Blu-ray in America, so I have all of them in the collection up to date. But they do have another one coming out next Earth Day theatrically called Bears, which looks phenomenal. It just looks like a beautiful documentary, so I can't wait for that. But until then, Wings of Life will certainly carry me over. Next one I got is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Mr. Quentin Tarantino's most recent film, Django Unchained. I thought this film was great. Holy shit, were these performances just spot on. Christopher Waltz won yet another Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his performance in this. His first one was thanks to his performance in Inglourious Basterds. The film is great. I liked it like so much. The performances just owned it. Although overall, I think that Inglourious Basterds was a pinch better to me, but I think overall, I think that Inglourious Basterds probably remains my #1 favorite Tarantino film. But like I said, this was a fucking killer movie, man. I mean, if you missed it theatrically, do not hesitate. Like, pick this film up, rent it, do whatever you have to see this, because it was awesome. Next one I picked up was a blind buy that I just watched yesterday. This is the Criterion Collection Blu-ray release of Alex Cox's Repo Man. What an awesome fucking cover. I mean, this has got to be one of my favorite covers that Criterion has ever done. This film is cool. It's got Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton in it. Emilio Estevez is like this white suburban kid who's a punk. His life isn't really going anywhere, and then by, you know, fate and circumstances, he meets Harry Dean Stanton and ends up teaming up with him, and Harry Dean Stanton kind of takes him underneath his wing and employs him as a repo man who repossesses cars and what have you, and from there, some wild shit. I don't want to ruin it, because I've always heard about this film, you know, knowing that it's a, you know, big cult classic that Alex Cox had done. You know, I specifically knew Alex Cox from Sid and Nancy, which is, you know, a terrific movie that I've always adored. So, you know, Repo Man was one that I always wanted to get to, so once I heard Criterion was doing a Blu-ray of it, I was like, great, I'm going to wait until that comes out, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to watch it. So I didn't investigate into too much what it was about, which kind of benefited me, because it was a really, really wacky movie, man. I mean, it's cool stuff. Like, I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, if you like this cover, if you like Alex Cox's other work, you know, if you are new to his work, I mean, I think I've only ever seen Sid and Nancy, but I really loved what he did in that. And Repo Man is right up there. I mean, it's a terrifically odd movie, you know, kind of bolstered by fantastic performances by people like Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez. So definitely check this one out. It's definitely a cool one. And the final haul right here is another one from Shout Factory. This is another one from their MGM line, only on DVD, and this is Message from Space. Didn't know anything about it when I picked it up, other than it's a 1970s Japanese Star Wars ripoff, starring Vic Morrow and Sonny Chiba. Instant buy. Like, there was no hesitation. I mean, it just looks and sounds awesome. And like I said, it's only on DVD, but it looks cool. I mean, that cover is just killer. And it comes with a theatrical trailer and liner notes by Auguste Ragon, author of Master of Monsters. And there's a still gallery. I kind of flipped through. It's a really nice booklet of liner notes. It's like 3-4 pages long, so it's cool that they gave that. So I'm very, very excited to check this out, because obviously I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I'm also a huge lover of cheesy Star Wars ripoffs, and this one just sounds very cool and very interesting, considering you know, the time period and the talent involved in this. So I can't wait to check this out. Next one I got is a very exciting one, because it's taken years for them to finally put this out, and now I can safely say that we're only one season away from seeing this show officially completed. But until then, Paramount just put out the 6th season of Family Ties. Hands down one of my favorite television shows ever. I just think it's hysterical. I love everything about it. Michael J. Fox is just, he, you know, makes me cry laughing in this show. I think he's great. So you can understand how bummed I was when they, you know, took years and years to release the 6th season after season 5's release. But thankfully Paramount's picked up the slack and it's out, so hopefully they don't wait too much longer to just squeeze out the last season, which would be really, really appreciated. But until then, I'm going to get acquainted with wherever I left off on. I think I'm on season 3, so I still have plenty to catch up on until season 7 comes out, so that's great. But if you're a fan of Family Ties, it's good to know that season 6 is officially out, so definitely scoop up a copy. The next one I got is another one that Shout Factory picked up for distribution, and this is the 3D Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and I believe this is only the 2nd 3D Blu-ray that Shout Factory has ever put out, and this is an animated film from Luc Besson's company, A Monster in Paris. It never came out theatrically over here. It was out in foreign markets, but the director is no stranger to America. He's directed other animated films like Shark Tale, which wasn't the greatest, and I believe Road to El Dorado, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this one seemed unique. I don't know, I'm a huge animation buff, as you guys know, so this one just seemed cool. Shout Factory was putting it out. I watched the trailers a bunch of times, and I was like, hey, you know what? I think I'll take a chance on this for 18 bucks. So, yeah, I'm excited to check it out. Seems like a bit of a unique, very unique story going for it. The animation looked cool and unique enough for me to kind of give it a chance just on that alone. So, I'm excited to see what this one packs. And the final one I picked up, I just did some reading. I think it was DVD Drive-In, and the review and the synopsis of these films really sold me on this. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release, and it's part of their Drive-In collection line, which is double features on one disc, and it just sounded really cool. And this is Anatomy of a Psycho and the Lonely Sex. Both films sounded cool, but it really was Anatomy of Psycho, and there were, like, the words and just kind of what I read about it that really sold me on this double feature. So, it kind of seems like in the vein of things like Psycho and stuff like that. You know, probably a really amateurish or, you know, cheap, quickie knockoff of something like Psycho or Homicidal or something like that. But, you know, I forget what it was that grabbed me, in what I read about it, but it was enough for me to be like, no, that sounds really fucking cool and up my alley. So for $12.99, it's a steal, and I just had to pick it up. So definitely check it out. It seems awesome. And Vinegar Syndrome, another cult exploitation label that's new to the circuit, but definitely, you know, it's definitely good to support them, so be sure to do that. Well, guys, that concludes my April 18th DVD and Blu-ray update. As always, I appreciate the support and comment and feedback that you guys give me. It's always highly appreciated. I love you guys. You know that. So, yeah, it's been great. Like I said, I'm going to be going to check out Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem tonight. You know, it's not going to be playing in every multiplex, like I mentioned earlier in the update, so, you know, go on Movie Phone or Fandango and try and find out where it is, because definitely support it. It looks like it's going to be a really cool, interesting witch movie, because God knows there's not enough of them, and God knows even more there aren't many good ones. So this one looks like it's going to be a really cool, interesting one. So for that alone, I'm very excited to check it out and support it. So that concludes the DVD update. Hopefully I'll be back with some movie reviews, and if not, in a few more weeks, you guys will see me again with another DVD and Blu-ray update. So again, thank you for the support, and I will catch you guys in a future video. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Frightener22.